career success is results times relationships. So making sure you focus on that. And I recommend folks to start with a network audit, right? Just taking a look at your network and who do you know? You probably know more than you think. So friends and family are a great first step. Classmates, teachers, and all that sort of stuff, other people you've worked with, doing that. Taking a look at not necessarily just the people above you, but also the people beside you and people below you, right? And oftentimes it's the folks on the ground floor that may have the greatest exposure, the greatest power in a company. So the admin assistants of any company, they tend to be super well connected. And as the admin assistant of the CEO of the company, they're probably the one that you want to talk to because they're basically running the company in some cases. And then what you want to do is take these folks and move them from a stranger to an acquaintance, so someone that you kind of know and kind of knows you, to a colleague, to a work friend, to a friend where there's no qualifications, right? So that's the goal. And seeing who haven't you reached out to in more than a year, right? There's probably a bunch of folks that you could reconnect with. And I call it increasing serendipity, right? So if you go to a networking event, meetup.com, eventbrite.com, those types of things, whatever organization, so if the project managers, PMI will have a bunch of them, the Project Management Institute, going to those events and searching the ones for your role, your industry, or whatever, you get to meet people. And what I typically recommend is that if you are in an interest group and you know a bunch of people, go talk to the person that you know least, or that person you haven't met before, because oftentimes they'll be someone of importance. I use the anecdote of one of my buddies he's a runner, right? And he would go running, and there would be always this guy who was last. He kind of was a middle-aged guy, huffed and puffed and whatever. And one day they went out for drinks, and they got talking, and lo and behold, that person was the director at a bank in kind of the area and function that he wanted to work for. And he kind of said, yeah, we were looking for someone just like you. And it didn't work out, so he didn't get a job, but he basically got an offer, right? Just because he reached out to someone that he knew all along, but never really understood what they do. So oftentimes you're more connected than you think. And when you attend an event, I recommend folks to connect with one person every 10 to 15 minutes. So in an hour-long event, you're probably connecting with 4 to 6 people, right? And 2 hours, double that. 4 hours, quadruple that, right? It gives you a ballpark. Something to shoot for. You might do fewer depending on how effective you are. You might be more depending on how effective you are. So just something to shoot for. And then going to what I call strategic networking, which is basically reaching out to individuals purposefully. So going on LinkedIn and finding that person who is the hiring manager in a group that you want to be part of, in the companies that you want to join. Who do you already know? Because someone might be able to introduce you to that person. And having what I call curiosity conversations, which are basically coffee chats with that person to get to know them. Could be over lunch, could be over drinks, it could be over breakfast or whatever, but get to know them. Understand their challenges, understand their how you can add value to them. And if you're connecting with someone and you're curious about them, interested in them, and most importantly, can add value to them, then oftentimes the jobs start coming to you, right? So if you can do that and have those curiosity conversations, then you'll be more on your way. And oftentimes networking is the most effective way to get a job. Remember that referral pile? Much smaller than the random pile of everybody else in there. So.